Hey everybody, it's your boy ThoughtGlobe369 here. Today we're going to be talking about Supermarket Simulator. Now, I know last time I uploaded a video, I think it was a Call of Duty video that I recorded on my Xbox. How long ago was that? Yeah, over a year ago. That was the last video I posted. I wanted to make this video talking about updates that I think could be great for this game, or not updates, but ideas that I think would be great to have in this game. If you do not agree with my ideas, please
put your thoughts in the comments politely.
Or whatever. This video is pretty much of my opinion. I didn't say you have to agree with them. If you do, I guess you could like the video if you wanted to. But yeah, wait until the end of this video for you to for you to decide.
Translate my stuttering. Watch the whole video to decide whether to like the video or not.
Okay, so without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so mainly I am going to organize this into 3 categories. The first category I'm going to go over is things I think need to be added, so like new things. Things that I think need to be changed. That will be the second one. And the third one will be things that need to be scrapped and removed, because this game is ultimately fun and all, but there's some things I want to talk about that are like, I think are just bad and need to go. I have all my ideas listed on my phone. I am going to go ahead and read them all out to you right now. Okay, so the first one, license ideas. More things that we could add to our store. Oh yeah, if you guys wanted to go to a specific category of what I'm talking about, I will leave trademarks down in the description of the video. Okay, so back to the license ideas. I have a license idea for produce right here. Okay, so for produce, I was thinking you could add broccoli. I have a theory. Why they didn't add it is because literally like 80% in the United States, kids is, they don't like broccoli for some reason. I know that's such a stupid theory, but I think that is what it is. So, continuing with the list, adding cucumbers, adding green leaf lettuce, adding lettuce romaine, adding cilantro, and for the last one, adding corn on the cob. All this I think would be great on one license idea, because I noticed in the management buying licenses, there's only 3. I think this is a great idea. Right, so now to the freezer. I have a license for freezer. I think would be great to add garlic bread, because I noticed here on the shelf we have spaghetti and pasta, but oh my gosh, we don't have sauce either. No pasta sauce. Okay, I'll talk about that one later. Frozen dumplings, frozen salmon. I know in my store we sell like salmon fillets and like salted sockeye salmon. So pork butt, 2 different types. Boneless, bone-in. Those would be separate. And also chicken nuggets. And maybe also like some frozen seafoods. I don't have any specifics.
So much for not being specific.
You guys can give me specifics if you want in the comments. Dry area. First, I would like to talk about aisle 2. I would like to consider this like my condiment and oriental section. As you can see here, I hardly have anything in this aisle because there is no oriental stuff. There is literally limited condiments and only 2 oil choices. That's not pretty bad. So I definitely have an idea for things that could be added for like this aisle, oriental stuff. So for this aisle, I think it would be great to have ramen noodles, soba noodles, chow fun noodles, sriracha sauce, vinegar, types of vinegar, distilled white, apple cider, rice, and cooking wine. I think those would be great additions for another license for specifically orientals. I would love to make this aisle a little bigger. So aisle 3, I've pretty much made like salt, pepper, sugars, pastas, flours. Basically what I've decided to put here is like all baking stuff, pastas, limited picture options, very limited. So what I think would be great to go in this aisle. I actually have 2 license ideas for this aisle. Why I say this is because in real life, in my store, I work in aisle 3. So, hear me out. For the first license, I think would be great to put bouillon powders, bouillon flavors, beef, pork, chicken, shrimp, vegetable, bouillon cubes, gravy mixes, types of gravy mixes, country, brown, low sodium, pork, turkey, canned vegetables, canned fruit, and canned purees. So like mixes for like pies, pie fillings, and stuff like that. I think that would be great. Okay, so for the second license for this aisle, I have marshmallows, ice cream cones, cherries, ice cream sauces, sprinkles, vegan marshmallows, and cranberry sauce. All dessert, because as I noticed over here, this is the only ice cream we have. We might need more ice cream licenses. I'm not too sure.
We still need pasta sauce.
And that is all the licenses that I have written down. If you have any ideas, go ahead and slap them in the comments. I would be very curious as to what you guys think should be added. A license should also have at least like 6 to 7 items. As you can see in the previous licenses that I've listed right here, I'll list them at the top right corner. They have at least 6 or 7 items. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is we need to be outside for this one. It considers the ordering system. You know how order something, let's say I needed this and this and this, the milk, apple juice, and fries. I ordered that on my tablet. So you saw that's what I ordered. Do you guys see anything different? Do you guys see anything different? Yes, I decided to order apple juice, milk, and fries, but what I got instead was sushi. I took it off the shelf. I actually got the fries, they're right here, but something I wanted to show you as an example. So, sometimes what you order is not what you get. So, what I wanted to talk about was, I think that this would be a great change, like to have things you didn't order, like come in accidentally, because what happens in real life is you may order stuff on the computer with this tablet, but sometimes what happens is like, I'd say 80 to 20%, the 20% everything coming in being all perfect, and 80% something going wrong with your order. So I made an example. Let's pretend that what came in instead was the small sushi. That's what came in instead. And on the invoice, I'll get back to that later, not only was it ordered, but it was also shipped. I think what would be a great addition, we're still in the addition category, alright, bear with me here. It's like, say, like, probably put right here, one guy standing right here, not far from the loading area, is a receiver. A receiver that could check in everything that came in, making sure that what you ordered is what was shipped. Now, what I think having a receiver here do is, while checking in everything around what was ordered, having some items be incorrect or even missing when saying on the invoice that it was shipped. What the receiver would do was check it off on the invoice saying either it was missing, it didn't get shipped at all, or let's say I made the same order, but something came missing. No apple juice came in. So what the receiver would do was mark it on the invoice, even though it was supposed to be shipped, it wasn't, and it's just missing altogether. Or, like, for example, what I did earlier with the fries, I replaced the fries with the small sushi. What they would do was they would take the small sushi, hold on, editor. Okay. What they would do right here with this is they would take it, maybe set it down right here, and like notify me, the store manager, that, oh, this needs to be credited. What does crediting, you may ask? What basically this means is like you would notify wherever this product came from, you would notify the market that something came in instead of your fries, and you would notify them, and what they would do in response, they would give you your money back because you have an incorrect item. Pretty much all you can do is you would have to put it back on your shelf and keep it anyway. And if it's full, oh no, that's not good. You gotta put it in like a random spot or something like that. So yeah, having a receiver and like items being misordered, I think that would be a great idea. To quote unquote make it a little more realistic. If you think that is a bad idea, if you disagree, then just say like, I don't know, like, I think that's not a good idea. And then you put like, what's not a good idea in the comments. But if you do like my ideas, like I said before, go ahead and like the video. Oh my gosh, yes, there is something I want to talk to all of you about. And I think this would be a great idea, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you would agree. Now, I'm gonna take this shelf, for example, and this one. Adding snapping between shelves, so like they would click together like this, or maybe if I were to bring it just a little closer, they would snap together like this. There is no snapping. That, I think, would be a great addition to the game. See, like, oh my gosh, I have to be so precise because, oh my gosh, it just like breaks my OCD if it's like that. It literally breaks me if it's like that. Oh my gosh, snapping needs to be added, and I'm pretty sure you can agree. Oh my gosh, speaking of snapping, I cannot take how much the lights are so off-centered. Why can't there be like an option for snapping them in a 4x4 area like this? Why is that not an option? I want that option so bad. Look, you can see clearly that it's not straight. The lights are not straight. They're not even. Actually, these two are off. But like these three, that's actually not bad. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty straight. But see my lights, you can't see it because of my sight. This one, it veers left for some reason. Like, why does it do that? It would be great if they could just have a snapping option for setting it dead center in the middle for a 4x4 area. So yeah, the snapping in general, I think a lot of you guys would agree.
This is the greatest plan.
Something else I would love to be added would be...
For example, my home is right here. I want to go home. Okay, so what this would do is, like, let's say one of these windows would be my apartment. I think would be a great addition in the add category would be to add an apartment for the player and adding an entire UI system, another area in the player. In the player, yeah, it's going to be inside the player. What I think would be a great idea would be for the player to go inside the apartment. I would go in here, I would be able to click on the door, and it would just take me to another area for my apartment. Now, considering this apartment, I think it wouldn't be yours automatically, like when you start a new game or you're new to the game and you freshly start off. This apartment would be locked and you would have to buy it via your management computer. And once you do buy your apartment, don't think I didn't see that. I just saw that. Okay, so yeah, having a bed. Because right now, the current system, all you would have to do is press enter. That would be how you would end the day. But you would go to your apartment at the end of the day and you would go to bed. That would be how you would end the day. That would be a great idea. Oh yeah, buying it from the bank. Yeah, adding the apartment from the bank with a specific amount of money. So basically how I think this whole apartment UI would work is that you would go here, you would click on the door, you would be teleported to your apartment, but you would be stuck, pretty much. Like, you would be stuck. Let's say your bed would be over here and your computer would be over here. But you wouldn't be able to move. You would only be able to, like, move your camera. I would have to come up with an example of that kind of UI. So, yeah, I think that would be a great idea.
The last thing I would like to talk about on the adding category is adding expiration dates. So, like, some items will be expired, and also adding things going bad, like temperature-wise, like for the fries, the sushi, the stuff that needs to be chilled and refrigerated. I'll talk more about that later in the video. If you want, you can just skip to that part where I talk about preservation and stuff like that. So like the vegetables would like have a week of expiration date. It is good that the developers rotating, like when you take a box, see, like it rotates, new box, but it should be rotating like prior expiration date when it expires. And also adding box colorization. All these boxes are like brown color and stuff like that. So like, yes, this would be like the default box color. For example, it would start turning from like yellow to just straight up red if like the product or item inside the box is no good. So basically like what you do is like you would take your box. So let's just say that these are the ones that I got from the box that I put back. These are the ones that are considered no good. What you would do is there would be an option for you to throw away.
There already is. It's called throwing the whole damn box away.
Empty boxes. I'm looking at all you people in the Discord community feedback. It would be a good idea to add empty boxes.
Anyway,
Throwing away the box altogether or just throwing away the items specifically would be a great idea. And temperature-wise, items can also go bad for items that need refrigeration. So, for example, the apple juice, orange juice, those need to be refrigerated. If they're in the dry area for too long, they would start going bad. So, like, they would start turning yellow. If it's, like, in the yellow, for example, you'd still have time to put it back in like a refrigerated area. But if it would be in the red, then it would be too far gone. You can't put it in the refrigeration. It's too late. You would have to throw it out. Also, added for profit loss due to bad items to the day completion screen. Players would be more aware of like products going bad. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the entire addition category. Things I think need to be added. Changes. The first thing I want to talk to changes about is upgrading the storage, adding chill and freezer sections, changing the storage instead of having it just all one big giant room. I don't think I've even all the storage. Yeah, I still have 3 more spaces I could use for storage. Instead of having it just one big room, having it in different sections, that would be great. Replace the stairs with a ramp. I think a ramp would be a better idea. Why? Is because I put this in a category for upgrading storage. Adding flat wagons, pallets, pallet jacks, and forklifts, I think would be a great idea. Obviously, you can't put forklifts in here, like out here, right where this moped needs to get out of the way. So, I think it would be a great idea to add wagons, so that way, that's the reason for this ramp. Bringing wagons, adding all different kinds of boxes, like for example, all this could be like on one flat wagon, and restockers could use these wagons to refill the shelves instead of just going back and forth one at a time. I think that would be a great idea. How many times have I said that, by the way? I think that would be a great idea. I think that would be a great idea. Okay, so yeah, upgraded storage, that's a great idea. Customers, whenever they grab an item, I'm gonna pretend I grab it, like say these two, they always have a bag. Why do they always have a bag? And oh my god, even when you're helping them on the cashiers or the cashiers themselves, or when they're using the self-checkout, they always have a bag glued to their hand as soon as they grab an item. Why? I think what would be a great idea would be to change that and add shopping carts and baskets. Like, get rid of these trash cans and like have an area for like shopping carts and such. That would be a great idea, to have shopping carts right here. Let's say like baskets on this side of the entrance. Customers would grab a basket for if they were planning to get a lot of items, and they would grab like hand baskets for, let's say they just got this. Okay, they got this, they got 2 of this, and they got this. So like baskets would be great for that. And let's say like I also decided to get, like, if I was using a cart, this and this, not enough space, this. I have a ton of stuff in my cart.
Yeah, sure. This is a cart.
I think what would be a great idea is for customers that are getting plentiful items would be they would grab a wagon. When they're done, when they're here at the checkout, they would still have their cart or their basket. And then what would happen is when the payment is complete, the basket or the cart would be then teleported back to where it's supposed to be, and customers can use those wagons or baskets again, and you would be able to add more wagons and baskets, the more your store expands. So like with the more your store would expand, the more wagons and baskets you would get. I think that would be a great idea. Editor, time lapse to where I put all this back.
Okay, boss.
Alright, that was a nice little time lapse, I'm pretty sure. Oh, yes, reducing the game speed and also the customer spawning rate. Oh my gosh, it is ridiculous, like why in-game time, even though it's paused right now because I haven't opened my store, literally one in-game minute is half a second of IRL time. IRL stands for in real life. This is ridiculous. They should reduce that to where an in-game minute is more like 4 seconds in real life. And also reduce the spawning rate of customers so that way your store isn't like overcrowded. That way not every day is literally Black Friday. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. So yeah, reducing the time and reducing customer spawning speed, I think that would also be a great idea. Okay, we're done with the changes category. Now, I want to talk about things that are currently in the vanilla game, but I think are a bad idea.
To be continued.